Listen,
Never in my life associated the word boring with baseball.
We know what's up.
Me? Yeah. Famous? Yeah.
And I'm like giddy over there smiling like, we're about to win this shit.
Did everyone give you crap? Give me a good host story.
I'm not picking it up.
We both love the game.
we talk about it every day.
Can't get enough baseball.
Having some popcorn, you're fooling around your phone.
I'd have to wait in line for 3 hours.
Hang on, because it's about to be a wild ride.
There's no human being in the galaxy that I'd rather have on right now than Alex Vesia. It's a fact. It's a fact. Nobody. Alex, how are you? Good?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. I texted Joe. I said, give me some good Alex embarrassing stories. But Joe's too busy getting punched in the head by mothers.
Right?
Right,
yeah.
That was crazy, right? I mean,
crazy.
I think I only got a chance to see you briefly when I was in LA, but it was right in the heart of the Joe Kelly gets punched by sibling of opposing manager story.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Did people in the clubhouse know about this?
I don't think so. No, because we had seen him for the ring ceremony.
Yeah, but it hadn't happened yet.
It hadn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So then, because I believe it was in the morning. The morning of, I was scrolling through, and you guys had posted, and I was like, "What is going on?" And then, I thought to myself, I was like, "I'm honestly surprised this hasn't happened sooner with Joe, right?" So yeah, it's.
I mean, there's more to come with this. The story, and in case people missed it, Joe was coaching his sons. Knox which Knox.
Oh yeah,
Knox, Dodgers legend. 9-year-old travel team. They were in the championship game in the 5th inning. The sibling of the opposing manager came out and knocked his hat off and punched him in the head. And then went from there. And he asked. I love the part, Alex, where he says, and the thing is, Knox, my son just wants to eat after the game. He's hungry. But no, what do I got to do? I got to go down to the police station to go to pick out the person out of a line.
Yeah.
It's like he's already workshopping his case in court.
Oh yeah. That's how that guy's mind works, man. That's him to a T. It's great.
But in case the thing is, I don't want to reveal too much, but
right.
I think that a lot of the questions that I got, well, obviously Joe likes to fight. So how come he didn't fight back? Well, you do the math.
No way.
No
way.
No. Let's just say there's a reason he calls it sibling of the manager. Anyway, enough. I just was reflecting on last time I saw you.
Yeah, right. Crazy.
Hey, but first of all, congratulations with everything. And I think that, there's a few different things I want to talk to you about. But I want to say, scream from the mountaintops, that you represent such an underserved element of the All-Star game. Just bear with me.
Okay.
I last year we were trying to say, I was talking to a bunch of guys, Pierce Johnson he was with the Braves,
Yeah.
Darren O'Day, who had made the All-Star team, about Jesse Sanchez at that time. Jesse Sanchez should have made the All-Star team.
Gotcha.
I want you, Alex Vesia, to be in the All-Star game. I am saying if anyone drops out, I want you to be in the All-Star game. We are putting our full support behind you to be in the All-Star game.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate that.
How many All-Star teams have you been on?
None.
Come on, not Little League or nothing. High school.
Yeah, I guess.
But nothing professional.
No. I did the All-Star game when for the Arizona Fall League.
Oh, All right.
that.
Something.
Yeah.
That's
But
something.
other than that, like, I don't know, those accolades for me aren't.
I don't care. I know. Don't be
Yeah.
humble. I'm saying, look at it this way, Alex. Think of it this way: is that you are a trailblazer. You can be a representative of the pitchers who should be identified more for their excellence and be in the All-Star game. I look at the pitchers that were, especially this year, man. Have you've seen like who got picked for the All-Star game, right? Like,
Yeah, I haven't
yeah.
really like looked into it too much the last like
No, I
24
know. There's
hours.
a ton of starters and like a couple relievers, and they're all closers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's usually how it goes.
can we change that? Like, that's my point.
Yeah, I've thought about that last year. Like I get the starters, but I do think if they opened up a couple more spots for like relievers, because like obviously there's been some nasty relievers this year that like aren't even going to get it. They're not even close, you know. So yeah, I think opening up a couple more spots for relievers would be cool, but yeah, it's tough, man. It's a tough thing to get
I
in.
know, but we're looking to crack through that. And I think that this, hear me out. I think that we should rethink. It used to be relievers had to have saves to make the All-Star
Yeah,
team, right?
yeah,
The way that baseball is now more than ever, like I think you're sort of hit on something without even recognizing it. Maybe we should have a category or a category of, okay, we have two relievers who are guys who I don't even know what you call them, whether
yeah.
they're, the guys who have pitched more in the seventh inning, the eighth inning, whatever, than even the ninth.
Yeah, you
Like
just call them high leverage, like high leverage
high leverage.
relievers or something.
Yeah, you have three saves, right?
Yeah, I do.
Right? Right? I mean,
So
you get a little of everything. That's my point.
always,
That's my
always, man.
point. Like, come on. I'm trying to like.
Yeah,
I know this is uncomfortable because you're like, well, I don't want to blow my own horn, but let us blow the horn for you. You
yeah.
should
I
make the
mean,
All-Star
yeah.
team.
It's definitely like obviously it's a goal to be an all-star and whatnot, but I also understand like where my role is on the Dodgers, on the team, and it just as an all-star it doesn't really get recognized. So it's like I get that. It's all good, you know. So at the end of the day, I keep my head down and keep moving forward because we got bigger and better things to accomplish this year. So
Yeah, I know. It's not. Believe me, I understand. Like especially like I don't know what you do during All-Star. What do you do the break? This is my nothing.
usually I'll work out. Like usually my routine doesn't really change. It's like
That's
I
it.
still work
You
out. I
don't go
still
like
throw.
tubing on a lake or anything. Nothing.
Nah, no way, no way. So yeah, it's hang out with the family and pretty much just relax for those 4 days because you can't really do nothing. Because if you do nothing, then you come back and it's like, most guys like, not like you'll get hurt, but I think your chances are higher to get hurt. I like to, keep working out and keep like throwing. I'll even throw like a bullpen in between. So just to keep everything right on cue, especially because I'm feeling good. So like taking 4 days off is a long time.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's not. I always tell like the younger guys that like you have to stay on it because those like first 3 days, like you have one bad outing as a reliever, like your whole season's bad. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's definitely for myself. I stay right on cue.
That's great advice. I think that something that, excuse me, the players don't understand or don't recognize. But you just said it, you're going good. And this is like we don't throw our full support behind potential all-stars just for players just because we like them. No, it's because you like them and you're good.
Right.
So did you realize, here's a cliche question, but did you feel like this year was going to be as good as it has been? Like there's a ways to go, I get it.
Right.
But did you feel something, did you feel like, okay, here we go. I feel good.
Um, Not necessarily. The only thing that like was like really different was so we won the World Series, right?
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, there we go. Right.
I have a tattoo to prove it. Yes.
So we won the World Series. That was on whatever Thursday. Then we did the parade on the Friday.
Wait, can I stop you right there?
Go ahead.
Were you near Daniel Hudson's wife?
No, I was on the bus behind them.
Okay, you know why I asked this.
Well, yeah, she got nailed in the head with a beer can. That was terrible.
It was terrible.
It was so bad.
Yeah. So anyway, I just want to.
So
go ahead.
yeah, we do the parade. That was on Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday, I had like two like signing events, and then that Monday, I was like back in the gym, like working out, and then I only took like 6 days off of throwing, and went right back into it.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like I didn't take time off. So going into spring training, my mechanics felt pretty good. I wasn't as like tight because I didn't get that like usually I have like a 3 to 4 week period where I'm lifting really heavy and my body gets like tight. So then my mechanics get all like out of whack. And so I've done that the past couple of years where I get too tight and I lift too much. So this year I didn't even have that chance because we went so deep in the playoffs. I didn't get that super heavy lifting kind of session in. So like even when we were in, Japan and then throughout the first, month of the season, like I felt pretty good. So that was definitely the difference maker is that I didn't take any time off. I've pretty much been throwing year round.
Wow. I mean, listen, whatever you do, if you have to sacrifice your max bench press, that's okay.
Right. I mean, sometimes it's feeding the ego a little bit, but,
right.
but, yeah, it was definitely, my wife and I went on our honeymoon.
Oh, right.
And then I got back into throwing. So like, it was just like, boo, it was a very quick, break, for me.
Where'd you go on your honeymoon?
We went to Cancun.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we had got married. It was last year, right before the 2024 season. Didn't get to do the honeymoon, and then after the season, we got to do our honeymoon. So it was awesome. It was cool.
Man, you get the honeymoon as a world champ.
Yeah, no, I got 2 rings in 1 year. It was a special year, man. I'll tell you what.
What did you do with your ring? Yeah, not your wedding ring. Your wedding ring you wear.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, I mean, as of right now, I've got it kind of locked up. So it's
okay.
I had to move it from my parents' house because my dad kept showing everybody. I was gonna keep it there, and I was like, yeah, no, I have to move.
Where is he? In Minnesota? Where is he?
No, my dad's in San Diego.
San Diego. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I was trying to like think of because my dad would go to like Dunkin' Donuts, and he'd be like, when I wrote a book, he'd be like, oh, look at this book right here. Oh, like that's what dads do, right? So I don't know what the San Diego
I got pictures of like him and selfies with people with the ring on at the house. I'm like, dude, what are we doing, man? But no, it's a proud dad right there.
It is. That's what it's all about. It's part of the payment.
Yeah, for sure.
So that leads me to a question. What I did like sit down with Kopech and ask them about when you're a world champ, it changes things. And besides your dad showing off your ring.
Yeah.
But also the vibe of knowing that you can do this, like and not only, you were not only on the team, but you were part of the solution that actually helped win a World Series.
Yeah.
And you don't know until you get on that mound in front of the entire baseball watching world what that's like. And now you did it. Now you prove you can do. I don't know what that's like. That's why I asked Michael. That's why I'm asking you. Like after coming off of it, do you have that sense of confidence, I guess? I mean, what is it like to be a world champ? Like that's what I'm saying.
I mean, for me, it goes so far back. to even like just thinking of high school, right? Where I had the opportunity to choose between like two different high schools. I chose the high school that was more academic, was a little bit more suited for me personally, versus the high school that was much, much better, so much more better, right? At baseball, right? They were very good. Um, but for me, I didn't even think I would ever be a Major League Baseball player, right? I went to a Division II school, spent 4 years there, got drafted, and then getting drafted for me was like, yep, this is great. Like, to then getting traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers, right? That like had not only like just trying to take all that in, but getting over there and they're like, hey, you're going to be a pretty big part in our bullpen. I'm like, oh, okay, like it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to wrap your head around, and it took me a little while to like actually embrace that. So winning the World Series, right? It's definitely that sense of achievement, and that the final out, right? Like I'll never forget feeling so accomplished during that moment, and then the celebrating with the team. Like that's last year, that was the closest group of guys I've ever been around. We all hung out together. We all, we just were so tight, and it was like a family. So it definitely, it's hard to explain, but at the same time, like that achievement was something.
Did it hit? So you mentioned getting the final out in the celebration. Like
Yeah,
we all see that in different sports or whatever. Did it hit like you thought it would?
100%. Yeah, it did. It definitely like the emotion, feeling accomplished that we accomplished a goal, and like jumping over the fence to then run out to Walker. Like, yeah, that was exactly how I wanted it to feel. And it was the best. Like for so long, it just runs like through my head, and there is a standard, and that's we met that standard, and you know, going through it, it's kind of like making your MLB debut, where you can't read a book or take a test or do anything to like prepare you for that moment. You just have to go through it and trust your process and trust that you play the game the right way. It will be on your end at when it's all said and done. So yeah, it's looking back through it. There's parts that I don't even remember, like when the little 3 series came out.
Yeah.
There was stuff I'm like watching it, going like, "Damn, that happened right there."
Yeah.
Like, so because if you remember in Game 5 when the Yankees had their bad inning, I was warming up.
You were?
So I don't remember. Like I didn't remember certain hits. I remember Judge like dropping the ball, but I don't remember like I think it was Teo hitting like a double.
I mean, you were warming up.
So,
you were warming up. They're down. You guys are down 5-0.
5-0
when you start warming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was the mentality was, hey, like go in, let's get 3 outs, keep the line moving. All right, cool. I'm like probably 8 pitches in, and it's like hit, like run, score, and then it turned into like, hey, keep us here. It's like, oh, okay, like that is such a bullpen thing.
That is such a, like, of all the things that you get to experience, that is such a unique little moment which nobody in this planet can say. Like, in that bullpen, everyone was at different places in that 5th inning. I was in the press box, for instance, like when Mookie hit that little squibber to Rizzo, Alex, I was right in line with that. And the first thing I thought of was that has a crap load of spin on it, and Rizzo is not charging that ball. and obviously Cole doesn't cover. But everybody has their perspective of it. You have Joe and Honeywell screaming, "That's the curse of Fat Joe," or whatever
Yep.
it is, right? Like that.
Yep.
But you're sitting there, you're warming up during
Yeah,
this.
my back's turned to the field while as I'm like, trying to like lock it in to like make my pitches in the bullpen and asking, Bardo, the bullpen coach, like, what happened? What happened? What happened? Right, over and over and over again. So that's where you have to take your deep breath and like things can speed up, and then I get the first 2 outs like of my inning pretty quick, and then it was like hit, walk, walk, and now I'm base loaded 2 outs, and it's like, all right, like got to make a pitch here. Thankfully, I get the pop up, and we're able to kind of keep the game. I think it was tied then, so yeah, it was that whole inning was wild.
One of the things that you talk about that group. I've said this before. I think that teams, when they build bullpens, should look at that group about how you had a bunch of guys who a lot of them knew who they were, what they were, how to get through a season, were confident in their own existence. And I'm not saying like because so many times we're chasing just the turnover of a bullpen, chasing, oh, like we'll throw these 10 guys against and hopefully one sticks. And I get that there's an element you have to do that. But
Right.
that bullpen was like there was so many guys in there who were just secure and then like
Yeah.
we know what this is. We're
Yeah.
not going to be overwhelmed by the situation. If we have a bad outing, we're going to move on to the next one. Like,
Yeah.
but you can speak to that better than I can, I guess, right?
Yeah, and it's that plus like we were battle tested throughout the whole season, right? We went through so much highs and so much lows, especially like in the beginning where like we were blowing games, we were giving up a bunch of runs, giving up slug, like going through it. So then when we did finally all click together, it was pretty much, after the All-Star break, guys got healthy, guys came back, we traded or whatever, and we're able to actually like get our guys. Then we all knew our roles. We all knew like who was going in, who had this leverage inning, who had the lesser but keep us tight, and like we all like were rooting for one another, and I think that goes a long way in this game because I mean baseball can be pretty selfish at times, and especially in the bullpen where there's guys fighting for spots just to stay on the team, so it can get a little hairy from time to time, but our group, we all knew that the World Series was going to run through that bullpen, and I think instead of running from it, we were like, bring it on, like let's go, and but we also had multiple attempts throughout the season because we did have bullpen games. We had times where starters, they got hurt or had issues early in the game, so it was like we were relied on not just during the World Series, during the NLDS, CS, whatever. It was throughout the whole season. So we were battle tested.
It's funny because, I was going to ask you like, okay, well, how does that make you a more confident pitcher this year? Which, whatever, the confluence of everything you said, working out, the timing, the confidence of everything else.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Alex, I think one of the most underplayed stories in baseball this year is how good you guys are with like this such an unbelievable amount of injuries and already adversity.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting here, as we sit here, you have the second best record in major leagues. And I think that a lot of what you're saying speaks to what's going on now is that, hey, you know what? Shit's gonna happen, man.
Yeah.
Like, but you just have to power through and good things will happen. You have to trust, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I do think it's one of the most. I don't know if you guys feel that or if you just show up every day and say, "Hey, we're probably going to win today," and if we don't, we're just going to win tomorrow. So
Yeah, I think we do try to keep it like day to day where it is that we do want to win today, right? We're not thinking about yesterday, we're not thinking about tomorrow. And I think like last year we did that really well. And this year it's like we've been pretty good, like like we're not going to have a perfect season, right? Yes, we have very good players and, but like it's still baseball. We're gonna win. We're gonna lose. Right now, at the end of the day, I'm gonna take us winning any time, any place, right, against any team. So, with that said, it's like 162 game season. There are ups and downs. There are highs and lows, and once the All-Star break comes and goes, like that's when we'll catch our stride. And I think that's like a very good like mentality that we're getting guys back. We're gonna have starters. We'll probably end up going and getting some guys with trades and stuff like that. Like that's just how the Dodgers do it, man. Like it's
All roads. Listen, yeah. It's like when you get to October, or when you get to September, leading into October. All right, here it is. I mean, not a lot of teams have that luxury. To be honest with you,
right.
It is. You guys know there's guys on your team right now who are banged up, but hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Be ready.
Yeah.
Be ready. What? When you look at this team, who is and we talked about all-stars, but who is the most underappreciated member of the Los Angeles Dodgers right now, you think?
Well, I mean, Pa has been unreal for us.
He's another one who should have made the All-Star team.
He's been unreal for us.
Yeah.
I think that he's been really good. Kim's been really good. Tommy's been really good, being able to play different positions. But then it's like you got a guy like Freddie who's has been banged up but has been playing unreal. Right? He had a small stretch that it's like, oh, you had a week where you got one hit. It's like he's the way he goes about his business is like why I go about my business the way I do.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Right. And it's like Freddie wants to play every single day. Doesn't matter how his body feels because he loves the game. He wants to play. He has a standard, and I think that showed last year where the guy's literally, barely walking into the stadium but he's like, hey, I'm playing, and it puts it in perspective. I respect that guy, to the fullest, but yeah, it is very hard to say like who exactly.
No, but I mean, that's what makes you a good team. Like there's
multiple people that pick up.
But you know what? You just mentioned like the Freddie thing. That's important, man. Like that's important. That was important at the moment. And right, because you're like, hey, listen, this guy's put it out there. We got to everybody. Not that you wouldn't, but still, and also the fact that he's still there. The fact that that that's the type of guy he is. You have Mookie playing shortstop. You have like whatever it is. Like this, everyone screams and yells about this super team, but like you got to have the right combination of guys, and you got to have the right mind. There's so much about the Dodgers, which I think. And I know that you know this, but I'm just screaming from the mountaintop. But there's so much about the Dodgers that allows all of it to work.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we come back to, well, you can talk about the millions and millions of dollars on the IL, but this is why you're able to sustain the success because of things like you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm getting deep, I know, but still.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it's a standard, and it's hard to like truly explain, but it's like there's guys that are really really grinding, and you have to respect that because they could have easily taken the easy way of being on the IL, right? But they trust our training staff, and they're getting better day in and day out, and I mean, it's very impressive.
You had made, this is totally a right-hand turn, but you had made mention that you went to a school that wasn't necessarily baseball, but more academics.
Yeah, that was in high school.
High school. Yeah. What would you do if you weren't a baseball player? That made me think about you must be smart.
No. So it's actually the opposite. So I had an independent education program. So I needed like help with reading, writing, test taking.
Okay.
So that was like, so it was called an IEP.
Okay.
And that school, Steel Canyon, they had a really good IEP program.
Okay.
Their classes were smaller, so it was more one-on-one with the teacher versus being, like 50 kids in a room. It was only like 25 ish. So I chose to go there. And if I wasn't playing baseball, I'd be doing something in the off-road industry. That's why Joe and I are such good friends.
Ooh.
Is because we like the off-road scene and whatnot. That's what my dad does. He's a machinist. And then my mom is a composite tool maker for General Atomics. So they make the Predator drone. So
Ooh.
she does the carbon fiber, like outside chassis, everything for that bird.
Did you see F1?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
I'm gonna go see it.
Oh.
I'm gonna go see it.
Oh.
So it's pretty good.
Yeah. I gotta say, yeah. It's good, man. Like I could be cynical about movies, but nah, it's good. And there's an off-road element to it. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
spoil it for it.
yeah,
But
it's good.
yeah.
But yeah,
So
I'd be doing something in that. I'm, since I was pretty young, my dad had me in the shop where I'd, change oil on my dirt bike and tires and stuff like that. So I'm pretty hands-on when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, it's not super smart and like this. I wouldn't have been like a doctor or
that's
whatever,
okay.
nothing like that.
Listen, I mean, to do all the things that you're talking about, there's an intelligence which I can't fathom. And by the way, also when we do get the baseballs and boring car and the Baja, whatever,
Yep.
what is it? What is the race? The
Baja
Baja
500,
500.
1000.
Yeah. You can drive it.
I'll be on that team
You
for
can
sure.
be on the team. What a
Yeah.
team, you and Joe. Let's
Heck yeah,
go.
I'm in.
Let's
My
go.
father-in-law, he's big into it too, so he for
Yeah,
sure.
I like this. We're the brand is like expanding. Like we had Cole Tucker on the other day, and
Yep.
his band is gonna be the official band.
There we
Like now
go.
we got the car, we got it all going.
Got it.
Speaking of Joe, you reminded me of something. When you had the little kerfuffle with the Padres. One of the things that I'm fascinated with this year is because I think that the announcer had talked about relievers running in from the bullpen
Yeah.
in kerfuffles, in little scrapes and little like bench clears.
Oh yeah.
It's such a weird dynamic, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
and I know that Joe like does a 4.40 and yeah, it's like so. But it is because as someone points out, if you're in Philadelphia, if you're in Baltimore, if you're in Toronto, you have to walk downstairs and
Oh,
like, yeah,
it's the worst.
yeah, right.
It's the worst. Like, wait for us. Hold on.
Yeah. So
We're coming.
I mean, what was it like? I guess that was the most recent one, right? Like,
Yeah, we've been in a few. Trying to think about any of my far runs that I've had, but yeah, I mean the Dodger Stadium run isn't a close run by any means. So,
but you have to do it. Like,
oh, 100%. 100%. I think the funnier part is when everyone is kind of like, they're going back to the bench or whatever, and then we got to walk our sorry ass all the way back to the bullpen, or the fans are like looking at us. So it's like at home, it's good because they're like, oh hey, they're kind of cheering for us. But when you're on the road, man, they're rowdy. So, yeah, it's a wild thing, and there's no bigger adrenaline spike than that. I'll tell you.
really,
No bigger adrenaline spike. It's
I mean,
because usually it comes like so quick.
yeah.
There's no phone call for you to like, oh, here you're gonna go in. Like, it's just like boom goes, and like, all bets are off. You got to get there. So, hopefully you don't.
Is there like
quad.
Oh, I think I knew someone who did pull a hamstring running in once. But is there like a code? Like, it's like a code word? Like, because when I see the videos of it, and you're right. I mean, everyone's like in unison. Boom.
Yeah, it's. I wouldn't really say it's a code, but as soon as you see one, like somebody talking to another guy, and as soon as like one or two of the guys like hops the fence to go, I mean, it's pretty much okay to enter the field. Like I don't even know how it works, but
So what do you do when you get there?
I mean, it's just assessing the situation because 99% of the time we have no idea what's going on. We don't know what's been said. We don't know who's going at who or who's saying something because we're in the bullpen. It's so far away. So obviously with the Padres thing, I was like, okay, yeah, Tatis got hit. He got hit by a rookie. Like, let's go. We're gonna protect our rookie. And then at that point, it was just trying to figure out who was going at who, and it just so happens that both managers were in it. So it was like, all right.
That must be cool. Like that to have the managers in it. Like that's next level.
Oh, I love it when Doc gets fired up. I love it. Oh, it's the best.
The story. Obviously, like Joe with the Tyler Austin fight, 2018, right? Like the Yankees, Red Sox.
Yeah.
The Joe Kelly Fight Club stuff, but
Yeah.
the story a couple of weeks later when he's driving through Times Square with his agents, and
I don't think I've.
you don't know this?
I don't think I've heard that one.
Oh no, okay. So a couple of weeks later, he's driving through. By the way, if you want to make sure that you do get all the facts, you can read this in Damn Near Perfect Game, the book that Tom Hanks just said that was the book of the summer. But a couple weeks later, he's driving through Times Square with Levins as his agent, and Tyler Austin's walking across the street. And now, according to his agents, and according to Joe, but also according to his agents, Joe dives at the door to try to go fight Tyler Austin walking across the street in Times Square.
I love it.
And they like hit the locks.
You're staying right here, buddy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So anyway, I love the anatomy of a bench clear.
That's good.
But hey, listen, we are if anyone drops out of this All-Star game, I'm gonna keep screaming and yelling your name. But most importantly, just reenact the jumping over the rail for the dugout to celebrate the World Series.
Right.
So it's good stuff, man. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you.